Hello everyone, we are MannerSC. I am Newtons, with me is Ben Novak, and we are here on the Shattered Temple. This is a game of the finals for the Zeek Daily $25 grand prize between RSVP and Totsy. So spawning at the top position of the Shattered Temple, we have the red Protoss player. He is also known as
Complexity RSVP.
And spawning at the 3 o'clock position, we have the Terran player who just recently lost the game to a very depressing Void Ray Rush in his eyes. He is
Wizards Toxie.
Oh yeah, nice. That was good.
We're gonna assume that's how they say it,
Yeah.
but yeah. So they're now talking about the previous game, and it looks like Toxie assumed that there was gonna be DTs, but it was actually Void Rays.
Yeah, well, so that explains what he was doing about the Banshee, or excuse me, the Raven. Getting out the Raven was definitely him suspecting some DT play coming out, but that isn't what happened. So, what can you do?
Lose.
Very black and white, Ben. Very black and white.
Racist. So we see again standard openings from both players. Gas is going down at normal times.
Something really small, if I can drop this on you, Ben, and blow your mind.
Yes.
The gas that is being put down by Totsy, I would prefer it to be at the north a little bit. This is because that requires a little bit more scouting time from RSVP, and in some situations that will determine whether or not the SC or the probe will die. If he has to scout a little bit further up to see if the gas is being taken. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's all I was going to say. I was going to state that.
Why did Toxie scout cross map first? Is he gonna do some SCD pry play here and put down maybe a proxy
The
there?
reason why I would assume he was doing it, I don't think the positions necessarily matter for his build order this early on. But normally Protoss on this map go for a 9 pylon scout. I wouldn't say normally, but a lot of the time they go for a 9 pylon scout. So he didn't see the probe extremely fast, and knowing this is on MLG, there's not cross positions, or close positions rather. So he decided, I'll just close or scout cross because I assume he's there.
I'm confused, but okay. We do see a factory going down and a reactor on the first barracks, expecting the switch as soon as that factory finishes.
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to be going into that heavy Hellion play that we saw in the first game. The choke is too small and too easily defended by a Protoss player. So I'm pretty sure he's just going to keep making Marines at this point and go into the Banshee play that we've seen him do the past 2 games.
Yeah, and we do see that Chrono Boost is really paying off on that gateway for RSVP. He is just warping in Stalkers and Chrono Boosting them out, and we can see his supply is way ahead here, pressuring with that Zealot Stalker right now.
Whoa.
Why?
Because that's awesome. Fast expansion coming from our Terran player right now. We might be able to see a little bit of a macro game, as we do see the Nexus being dropped by RSVP, so it looks like this game is going to exceed the 10-minute mark. Fist pump.
I don't think it's going to exceed the 20-minute mark, though. I would expect to see just a bunch of gateways go down for RSVP, and he'll probably pressure, considering he already has units out. And once he takes down that command center, it's basically GG, because that the opening that we have from Toxie is going to keep him in his base. It looks like he's going for tanks instead of Hellions.
RSVP is going for a robo base. This is a 1-gate robo. Obviously, he may be suspecting Banshee play, which is, I mean, metagaming, that's a fair assumption. But also it's a decent counter against the play that we're seeing from Totsy. Him going Siege Tank and having the early robo allows that really early Immortal production, which is a necessity in stopping any mid to late game pressure with these Siege Tanks.
Yeah, and a little note on RSVP's play, he does leave this probe out here, like I stated before, because with only 1 gateway worth of production, you have to be really careful with your units. So he has to know when Toxie is moving out. Or else, you know, those units walk past that Zelnaga tower, maybe he has that, and it's still going to GG him because he doesn't have enough production.
It looks like Toxie's a bit scared of either a DT rush or the potential Void Ray again. He is hitting a missile turret at the front with a bunker as well. So that's a pretty large commitment considering that he isn't going to be using that engineering bay for anything other than getting that turret up right now.
Yeah, and Toxie has no vision in RSVP's base. He actually doesn't know RSVP has an expansion as well that is fully saturated. Worker counts favoring RSVP, 10 more workers from RSVP, 37.
That's actually fairly significant for this early in the game.
Yeah, I think if RSVP decided to pressure right now, he could perhaps skirt that outside, but I think he's just trying to go for the more economic build here.
Toxie is going for a double factory right now, a total of 3 after these complete, and going into Hellion production, so it looks like he's taking a little bit of a TVT strategy and converting it into a TVP, going for what my assumption is Blue Flame Hellion and Siege Chain play, so a heavy mech in this TVP matchup, which we don't see a lot of.
That's a 4th factory, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's really committing to this right now.
Is that gonna lead to maybe Thors? I'm not 100% sure on how you can 4 factories.
It can, but early on in the game, it's really gonna rely on heavy Siege Chain production for a lot of defensive play. The idea of this is you turtle up as long as you can, and then you just run out with this giant force of stupid taints and Thors and Hellions. But what RSVP is doing is 100% correct. In this situation, you have to understand that the Terran's army is very immobile, and they can't get around easily. What he's going to do with these Colossus is, with these close air positions,